I want to talk a little bit about fighting back because this is something that has to come from the grassroots organization. It's we the people that have to start making a difference here and start pushing back on our government officials. One example is the organization I belong to, Focus on America. Last year, August of 22, we sued the Secretary of State. We had a hearing in front of Judge Griffin in the Alabama, can't remember, not the Supreme Court, but the Superior Court. And he ruled that we had no standing. We had no business suing the Secretary of State to get rid of the voting machines. We appealed to this Alabama Supreme Court at a very hefty cost. They agree with the lower court ruling. In my opinion, if we the voters don't have any standing against the Secretary of State and the voting machines and possible cheating, who does have standing? If you want some more information, there's a good article in 1819 News. There's a link in there. It talks about the lawsuit. It talks about Clay Parikh and machine vulnerabilities and some specifics that I've already mentioned. Let's talk about people. There was an organization fought back. Now here's a person who is a homegrown Alabama boy here that happened to be a expert in computer hacking. You would call him a white hat hacker. And Clay had enough one time. He just stood up and said, I've had enough, made some phone calls, got connected with the right people. He became an expert that testified in our court hearing. Those lawyers spread his name, and he testified shortly after that in the Maricopa County case, Kerry Lake versus Hobbs. And he went on to several other states testifying in court as to the hackability of the machines. Clay, within his background experience, when he was an independent verification person testing voting machines, he was able to hack into 100 different machines within 2 to 10 minutes. Now, he's not the smartest guy in the world, but if he can do it, how easy it is for somebody else, or like a nefarious country from somewhere else hacking into our system. This is an example of an ordinary citizen now turned fighter and a national patriot. He went from just a guy working in the local area here for an aerospace company, and now he's nationally known. Anybody can be doing this. So let's talk about some positive stuff, since most of the information I've given you was pretty negative. Here's an example. We're in Shasta County, it's Northern California. 180,000 citizens. Their board of supervisors voted 3-2 to get rid of their voting machines. So that county now does hand count paper ballots. Another example, and one of my heroes, is Linda Rance. She lives in Osage County, Missouri. In her county, there are 13,274 citizens. She did some research, got excited, put together a pitch, and went and talked to her county clerk, and then they switched from the machines to hand count paper ballots. Her example was so successful that she wrote a book called Return to Hand Counting. It's about this thick. It's free to the public. You can go online at Cause of America and download this information. It's A to Z about all the background of hand counting paper ballots. It tells you how to do it. It tells you how much cost it's going to be, the whole shebang from start to finish. Great handbook. Specifically with regarding to the law, I was able to do some research, in Alabama Code 17721A states that, and I'll read it to you, the governing body of any county or municipality or other political subdivision of the state by adoption of an appropriate solution, and the key word is may, authorize, adapt, or direct use of electronic machines. Now, that word may is not shall or must. And contract language says that you can use this as an option. You can do anything else you want if the county commissioners decide it's to be. So we need to push back on the county commissioners and get a decision made in your county. So what can you do? as a person in the audience or watching this YouTube video, what can you do to help things out? One, you can get the Frank Speech app because Mike Lindell has a plethora of information. He had 2 summits, both in that should be 22 and 23, not 24. And there are a bunch of, there's a whole bunch of information. It's searchable, it's on video. You can do, there's about 10, 20, 30, 40, there's about 40 hours of testimony by various experts throughout the country, including Clay Parikh and other people that I've mentioned in this video. You can join Cause of America, and that's the website. Download and read the Return to Hand Counting book that I mentioned. More importantly, I want you to ask questions, demand answers, and do a follow-up. It's not just going in and ask a question, you have to keep on pushing. Another thing you can do is stop watching mainstream media. Turn off Fox News, ABC, MSNBC, NPR, CNN, and CBS. Very bad. You can, instead of just turning things off, watch RSBN, Dan Bongino on the web, Truth Social, Rumble, Megyn Kelly, Solari Report, Gateway Pundit, Tucker Carlson, Brian Lupo. Those are only a few examples of some true, honest to God, no BS reporting to find out what's really going on in the country. Join like-minded groups. Focus on America here in northern Alabama. There's another one in southern Alabama Liberty Group. You can join them. John Birch Society is a rapidly growing organization that you can join. They are all over the United States, and there are many others. Most importantly, put pressure on your county commissioners. Get to know them, find out their name, go visit them, write letters, put pressure on there, and force them to go to hand-counted paper ballots in your county. Force machine eradication. Now, here's some other sources. If you're interested, these are movies and videos you can watch. The 4 I put down here, and there are many others, but the 4 I put down that I recommend is Atticus versus the Architect, documentary about Don Siegelman here in Alabama and how he lost the election at the hands of George Bush and Karl Rove and Eric Holder. You watch this video, your jaw will drop. It is mind-blowing. Selection Code is another one. It's a Tina Pita story from Mesa County, Colorado, that uncovers the secret critical to survival of America. You'll never again let a machine near your vote. 2000 Mules, that's been out for a while. Dinesh D'Souza had that out. It's a great story about Greg Phillips and Catherine Engelbrecht that talked about how ballots are stuffed, especially in our neighboring state, Georgia. Red, White, and Blue Blueprint is a docuseries that talks about how the Shasta County folks went from machines to paper ballots.